That's not what Christ was talking about. When he said become as little children, this is all spiritual. This is all in your mind. The biggest fight you're going to ever have in this truth is you fighting yourself. Because you could be sitting by yourself, ain't nobody around, and there's evil thoughts going to come in your mind because Satan deals with you in your mind. Right? So if you can control yourself, yeah, I want to kill this cat, but I'm not going to kill him. Yeah, I want to sleep with this woman, but I'm not going to sleep with him. Yeah, I'm going to do this or do that. Yeah, I want to smoke this, but I'm not going to smoke this. Yeah, I want to snort this, but I'm not going to do it. Why am I not going to do it? Is it because I don't want to do it? Can somebody here tell me that ham ain't delicious? That somebody can here tell me, you know what I'm saying? It's not about that. It's about what the Lord said. The Lord says it's disgusting. Okay, well, it's disgusting. I want to be like the Lord. Christ ain't want to die for you. You was wicked and doing all kind of stuff and don't appreciate it. Didn't appreciate what he did. Because when you knew he died for you, you still went out and you still slept with that hoe. You still did something you know you ain't had no business doing. And still would be. Now Christ already knew that. He gonna die for a nation of people that's like that. He ain't want to do it. I'm gonna take all this punishment, and they gonna go right out and do the same sin again. But nevertheless, not what I want. Well, what you say. If you say that's what you want me to do, Lord, that's what I'm gonna do. You say you want me to stay away from it. You say you don't want me to be with no other nations. You say you don't want me to love, my oppressor or envy my oppressor. Then I'm not gonna do it. Even though in my mind, in my carnal self, I want to. That's what Paul was talking about. You know what I'm saying? There was another precept that I was thinking about. But your question, you know what I'm saying, when it's talking about, when you ask was being born again, it's really spiritual. It's just realizing you don't know everything. You know what I'm saying? Because if you follow everything that you learn from you'd be like, okay, I know the Bible. I know John 3:16. I know that Moses did this. I saw the 10 Commandments movie. I looked at, this. I know the story of Samson and Delilah and this, that, and the other. Nobody concentrate on Jacob and Esau. Nobody concentrate on, what was going on during the time of the Maccabees, what was going on while we was under this king, the split, and all of this other stuff, which all the history with Israelites is right here in the scriptures. Nobody concentrate on it because they don't understand that these things are important for giving us our identity back. Why should we even keep the laws? Why? If you are a person that is not Black, Hispanic, or Native American Indian, the Lord didn't give you those laws anyway, so you ain't even got to follow. You got to follow on when we in rulership, meaning the Israelites are, but we ain't right now. You got to follow the laws that they tell you. And the law they tell you is a man can only have one wife. Is what they do? They just legalize weed. Man, what they call it? Man boy, man boy love association. NAMBLA. Anybody familiar with NAMBLA or whatever they call it? Y'all ain't familiar with that, huh? MAMDA, ain't this MAM? NAMBLA. National Association of Man Boy Love. Y'all don't know about that? Y'all quiet on me. Is anybody on the line? Yes? Okay, Khan La'a. Which one? Y'all know about that? All right. There is an association that was started. They right now in the process of trying to write laws and put it on the books, just like they did with homosexuality 30 years ago. It was called a mental illness. It was called something that was wrong, and now it is now no longer. It's a way of life. It's a choice. Where they're doing the same thing with pedophiles, with pedophilia, saying that it's a choice. You can't control who you love. So there's an association called NAMDA. It's a National Association. I don't know what it stands for, but I know it's Man Boy Love. and it's talking about men who are in love with young boys. Now, this could be passed as a law that says these men have the right to do this. Not if Yahushua is here, not if I have anything to do with it. But I, right now, am a citizen in the United States of America under President Donald Trump. Now, that's me as the dude that's born from my mama. But Kazak Tamar is an officer in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, and we keep the laws, statutes, and commandments established by the Most High himself in the Bible that were followed by Adam and Noah, all the prophets in between, and Yahushua, all the way down to Commanding General Yohanan, all the way down to the newest trooper that comes into school and take this thing seriously. Y'all understand, right? We call ourselves free. We free men here. As with everybody else worried about what's going on in the world and whether the bees is dying and whether all the birds and the fires that's going on in California and all of this and Russia having nuclear missiles and all of that, we don't worry about that kind of stuff. What we worry about doing is pleasing the Most High. Because when you please the Most High, it doesn't matter. A dog can't even bark at you. Now, that's how you get, once you done gathered the milk and you understand the milk and you digest it, and then you get the meat. But it don't start there. What it starts with is, did you know that Christ was a black man? Did you know that the law is not done away? That's what Officer in the Shop was saying. It starts with that. The law ain't done away with. What you mean? My grandma said it was. My mama said it was. My auntie said it was. Everybody I know told me the law was done away with. Now you telling me I got to follow that? It starts there. It starts with dispelling the lie that people believe that the man that's in the church, that preacher, is a good man. With he having a box eating contest with all the members. Men, wives, and everything. Dispelling the lie that these people actually care about you when they buying jets and the people that's in their congregation can't pay their light bill. It starts there. That's becoming a child. That's men that's older than I am and have been around and probably could teach me 10,000 things outside of this truth. Humbling themselves enough to follow my counsel and follow my orders because I know more about the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob than them. They might be smarter than me, older than me, whatever the case may be. But until they come in and do what I did, that's what it is. Rank, order, instruction. You understand that, right? You understand that, Mario, right? All right, did I answer your question? All right, Most High in Christ. Anybody else got questions? Go ahead, Rakon.
I just want to know if I can use Psalms 131 as a precept.
No, can't use that. Any other questions? A precept for what?
It's like just for what Christ was saying in Matthew 18 and 37.
About becoming like one of these children? Let me hear it.
Psalms chapter 131, verse 1. Most High, my heart is not haughty, nor my eyes lofty. Neither do I exercise myself in great matters, or in things too high for me. Surely I have behaved and quieted myself, as a child that is weaned of his mother. My soul is even as a weaned child. Let Israel hope in the Most High, from henceforth and forever.
Yeah, that is definitely talking about the same thing. He's talking about him being humble. That's a good precept for it. All right. Any other questions? You got a question? Go ahead.
So the book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 27.
Who is this? This in the shop? Hey, in the shop, you sound like muffled. You don't sound clear like you was earlier when you was actually
I had my phone on. I had it on speaker.
Nah, the speaker's fine. You just gotta be up on it. You can't just be like have it on speaker and be in another room. You know what I'm saying? You too wild. Go ahead. I heard you. I heard you. It just wasn't clear. Go ahead. Go ahead and ask your question. You said in Romans what?
Chapter 1, verse 27.
Okay.
So,
What's
my
the
mom hit me up earlier and she said she wanted to, like, she had a question about this verse. And I didn't even hit her back yet, but I read it. And, like, I understand the whole verse, but I just wanted to make sure, like, the last part of it, the last word, like, meat, is like, that means good, right?
No. Now,
Okay.
just because we in Truth 101, what do I want you to do?
I tried to look up the word, sir, and like it ain't in my Bible dictionary that I have.
I don't know who said that.
And I couldn't even find it like online. I'm trying to find the word and it's like not coming up. I put meat in the Bible and it's not coming up. I'm like,
All right. That word meat means suitable. Right? Suitable, or another word I could say is what you deserve. Right? What does the job? Remember in the word, see, a lot of people think when it says the woman is a helpmate, it don't say that. It says a helpmeet. That means that she's suitable, right? For instance, if I have a woman, right, and she does everything I say, she's respectable, she ain't got no loud mouth. I ask her to do something, she do it, right? But then when it comes to her paying her tithes or something like that, and I want my entire house to follow the law, statutes, and commandments that's in the right? She's a good woman, but she's not suitable for me. I'm a priest. You understand? No different. You can have a woman that did everything. She cooked your food and did everything you like and all of this other stuff. Now you come into the truth, and this woman has a problem. Let's just go with the most common problem with you having another woman. She still is a good woman, but she's not suitable for what you're doing. This is talking about a recompense or something that's suitable, meaning that's what it deserves. If you look in the blue letter, you should be able to find the word in the blue letter. Did you look in the blue letter?
Sir.
All right, so this is what I want you to get in the habit of doing. If you cannot find it in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, what the blue letter Bible will do is it'll give you the word in the Greek, since this is the New Testament, or in the Hebrew, and you can go to that word, and it'll tell you what other things it's been translated into in the Bible. And you know, sometimes it'll go back to the root word, what it was and what it was translated from, all of that. So let's go to Romans 1 in the blue letter. I ain't never done this for this particular word, but I do know what was taught to me, and that word means suitable. All right. So you get a help that's suitable for you, that you have a help meet, right? When it says those things are meat, meaning it means those things are it's not good, but I mean, it's close to saying good, but good would mean like, you know, good. I'm looking at the word right now. I don't know how to read Greek, but we'll say D-E or D-I or whatever. D-E-I is how it's spelled, right? And the word it translated is must, ought, must, need, should. So it's like what you should have, what you should get, right? Biblical usage, it says it is necessary. There is a need of, it behooves, it's right, it's proper, a necessity. It's different, all of these different ones. And you have to take and look at the context and see which definition it is. And this particular one is right and proper. So when you read it, you read this verse, go ahead and read it and put right or proper in the place of meat. Put proper. Let's use that word. Now go ahead and read it, and let's see if you understand that. If not, I'll break it down.
Book of Romans, chapter 1, and verse 27. And likewise, also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burst in their lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly.
Unseemly, what does that mean?
Not good.
Unseemly. Somebody else tell me what it means without looking it up. Huh? Go ahead.
That means something that wasn't never seen before. Something that wasn't never done before.
Not unseen, not unseen, unseemly. Unseemly. Who is that? Who is that? Hold on, wait a minute. Who is that? That was DeAndre? Hey, shalom, Lord Christ. Go ahead. Who else? Somebody else had the answer? Yeah, they getting on over there.
It says not proper or appropriate.
There we go. Working that which is unseemly, not proper or appropriate. Right? Men with men, women with women, doing those things that are not proper or appropriate. Keep going, Nishab.
Sir. In receiving in themselves that recompense of their error, which is meat.
Nah, read it the way I told you to read it.
Salakia.
Oh, hold on, stop. Those things, people that was working those things that are not proper or correct, doing things that are wrong, and receiving to themselves that recompense. What is that? What does a recompense mean?
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
The recompense is something that they deserve.
Yeah, the only reason why I don't want, you could use that. I would say, something you get in return for something else, right? In other words, when it say in the Bible, like, give to a godly man and you'll receive a recompense. It's talking about a good recompense, right? It say, if not from the person you do it for, from the Most High, right? Or it could be like, if you break the laws of the Lord, you're going to receive a recompense. Meaning it's a reward. You can get a good reward or you can get a bad reward. The recompense for going out and killing somebody is 25 to life. The recompense in saving somebody's lives that they might be devoted to you for the rest of their life. You get that, right?
Oh, God.
Okay, so and likewise, also the men, leaving the natural use of a woman, we all know what that is, burned in their lust, one towards another, men with men, working that which is not proper or correct, and receiving to themselves a reward of their error, which was not, what's the word?
Which was?
What was the word? You forgot it?
Oh, God.
The word I said was suitable, but it was another word that was in the definition. Hold on, let me get it. Go ahead.
I think you said deserving. Suitable and deserving.
No, it was a word in the definition. Those are words I said. But somebody read the definition. Or maybe I read the definition. Oh man, come on, man, y'all gotta help me out. Can't remember everything.
Proper.
Proper. That's it. Proper. Meaning, they getting rewarded from what they doing wrong. And that's the right thing. That's what they getting what they deserve. Right? When you see somebody and they going through all kind of hell and they live in a certain type of lifestyle, they getting what they deserve. They getting a recompense that is proper and suitable. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that means, you know, when you see these brothers that's been selling poison to their own people, and some of them don't make it home at night. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. They only got rewarded for the type of lifestyle that they was living. As much as we love them and don't want to hear that, that's the reality of the fact. You get it, right?
Sir.
All right. Any other questions? Shalom. Lord Christ. Who's this? Shalom, says Yahweh Shema without Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. What's the question?
Oh, well, ago you talk about help meet. So you're saying that it means suitable?
Yes, it does. It don't say helpmate in the Bible. Christians get that wrong all the time.
Yeah.
It says he shall be a help meet, meaning Adam couldn't find help that was suitable for him. So the Lord made him some help that was suitable for him. Is what he need, is what he deserved. It was proper. It was, yes, that's what that says. You look it up, that's what it says. You had a question on that, or you just wanted to make sure I said what I said?
I have a question on it.
Go ahead.
So what I would like to know is, since it's concerning suitable, and you gave an example, you're saying even though the woman can do everything, like as far as like her wifely duties when it comes to cleaning, cooking, whatever he needs her to do or wants her to do. But it might be where she's not suitable to a point where, like you said, he might get another rib or whatever reason she has to, kind of go against him. And I know that it's custom for the father to choose the husband for her. So with that being said, is it where the father give her the option and she picks, or especially if it's concerning? Well, I'm not going to say she picks. The way you said, the man really is wise to choose the woman. But what I'm saying is when the father chooses for her, is it more so like, okay, this is what I have suitable for you? Or, because obviously the father's not going to be the one dealing with the brother. So, how does it work?
What's your question? I'm confused about your question. Are you Salaki? 1 second. Salaki, 1 second. 1 second. What? Okay. What's confusing me about your question? Are you asking what's customary for Israelites when it comes to marriage? Is that your question, or are you asking what happens if this happens?
No, what I'm asking is because if we're talking about, a man finding a woman that's suitable for him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And of course the fathers are choosing for her. How can he be sure he finds? Okay.
No, that's not what it is. That's not what it is. Let's just say I have a daughter, right? And no man wants to marry my daughter. I can't just give my daughter to some man who don't want to marry her.
Right, I get that. That's why I said when a father has, it could be one or two men, that he like, you know what, they look compatible for my daughter. What I'm saying is that Is it to where, okay, he gives her the option and say, hey, these other men, I wouldn't mind you marrying because you're my daughter and I know what's best for you?
You thinking about this totally from a westernized civilization perspective, right?
Help me out. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I'm about to help you. What you have to understand is the way that we view marriage in our society is 1,000% wrong and not the way that the Lord had us to do it. That's how we do it is the reason why 75 to 85% of marriages end in divorce. That's a Christian church. That's in the Christian church. But in America, I know it's at least 60%. Over half of marriages do not last in this society because of the way we think about marriage. Because we choose who we want and not understand that the Lord chooses somebody for you. Right? So the custom in what you're saying is, how does that work? If I'm somebody, if I got a daughter or whatever and I want to let her choose, then it's no longer my choice. I'm letting her choose. That's not the customary way that it would happen. If you have to look at it, you got to look at it. You have to look at it as, in a society, it's wrong to say it in America, but women would be viewed as like property. You understand?
Okay, right.
Hold on. You understand that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so listen. So let's say we're talking about a diamond, right? I have a diamond, right? I'm going to die. I can't keep this diamond. I have to give it to somebody. Should I give it to somebody who's just going to lose it, throw it away, step on it, let their kids play with it, break it, make it lose all its value? Or should I give it to somebody who's going to cherish it, clean it, protect it, and make sure that, it's always there, or that you can get the most out of this diamond? That's how it is right there. You understand? When it talks about a woman in the scriptures, it says a good woman, her price is far above rubies. We always bring out Proverbs 31, and all the sisters put a plate of food on the internet and say they Proverbs 31 for their husband and all this salakia. But at the end of the day, you got to really understand, a woman is something that is worth something. She's worth something, right? And that father, if he raised her up in the admonition of the Lord, how to be submissive, how to do this, how to take care of her husband and do what he likes, or whatever the case may be, then she's worth more. If you have this conversation anywhere outside of people who understand why the Lord did what he did, why the Lord made a woman in the first place, then they'll say, well, you're chauvinist, or you're a sexist, or you're whatever word they want to use, not understanding that men love women more than anything else on the planet. It's just putting a value. It's like, you understand what I'm saying? It's like, right now, you raising girls, or whatever the case may be. You don't want to raise your girls and then send them off to somebody who's going to do them wrong, mistreat them, not care about what the Lord got to say in certain situations. But you understand what I'm saying? That's the situation that it is. So when you look at it as, this man has a possession, he created this woman. Now, this was back when people understood family and love, and your daughters were of value. Then you want to make sure that you put her in the hands of somebody who's going to love and protect her the same way you do, if not better. So therefore, sometimes a man might only look at, what a man has, a financial situation. Like, this is the best. I can put my daughter with this man, and she'll live in a palace, and she'll never have to work, and she'll have maids and all of this. He wouldn't care about whether or not, this guy who has all of this stuff is going to beat her down 3 or 4, 5 times a day. It's not necessarily his concern. It's whether or not she's going to eat and have somewhere to stay. You asking this question, it varies for different people. You had a man in the Bible that had a man work 7 years to be with his wife. You think this man done worked 7 years to be with this woman, and then what if the woman got to choose? I don't want to be with him. Wait a minute. I had this man work 7 years to be with you. I don't want to be with him.
I'm sorry.
You understand what I'm saying? It don't work like that. Even in Esau in America, right? A woman takes the last name of her father, right? Meaning it's no different than the slaves had the last name. When you got Johnsons and you got Millers and all of this, these were all slave masters' names. And their property, which were the servants, which were the slaves, had their last name. That's their surname, right? That's why we still got the white man's last names till this day. Well, it's no different. Now, when that woman who is my property, my daughter who is my property, gets a husband, gets a new daddy, gets a king, gets a man who rule over her and protect her like I've been doing, she takes his last name. This isn't an Esau. So even they understand about a woman being property. A man don't take the woman last name. It's a bunch of bitches that do that. You know, I guess that's romantic in their world or whatever the case was. But here's what I'm saying. The point is, it's not customary for them to do that. Some cats just go over the top with their feminism to try to prove something to their woman. But you understand what I'm saying, right, Yakar?
Okay. You did throw me off. I mean, that's not what I actually meant, but at the same time, I kind of did. So pretty much a woman, a daughter, will be raised to humble herself and just accept who her father wants her to marry. You just said, he's choosing for her.
Listen.
That's why, okay, when I said he has
yes.
an idea.
The answer is yes. Absolutely.
Okay.
A good daughter would be raised for a husband. You looking at like now. Women pick the man they want to be with. Here's the problem though. Because women are emotional, this is how they are able to be compassionate, loving, kind, servants, and all of this other stuff to their men and to their children and make sure that they got all of this. It's because of their emotions. So one thing about emotions, they may be right here today, and then tomorrow, they're totally different. I love this nigga to death, and then tomorrow, I never want to see him again. This ain't about emotions. Marriage is not about emotions. It's about what's right and what's wrong. And what's right and what's wrong according to the Lord, not anybody else. Some people would say that a man having the right to pick for his daughter the man that she should marry is wrong. But to the women who have a man that's going to keep them for the rest of their life because their spirit and how they was raised is not wrong. It's totally right. You know why? Because your father should not pick it based on his emotions. He should pick based on logic. Is this man going to be able to take care of and you know what I'm saying, provide and all this other stuff that men would look at for the time? How many women love and pick the dude that they stay getting black eyes, he stay smoking up the rent money, and they love him and they picked him, and their father would have never picked him? I don't know if I'm answering your question or not. I'm just talking, so let me know. Here's what I would say about what you're asking. Give me Ecclesiasticus 26 before we go too far. Give me Romans chapter 9. I believe it's verse 13. It's not to him that willeth, Give me let's change this back into a Bible class. I know where you getting at, your Kyle, right? And here's the problem. There are so many women that have said, this is the man for me that I want to be with. And 3 years later, they don't want to be with them no more. I hate him. I never want to. And it's all based on emotions. The Lord don't deal with emotions like that. Anybody got any of those scriptures? Hold the Ecclesiasticus 26. Hold that one. Somebody give me the Romans first. Go ahead. Nice and strong, Doc.
Romans chapter 9, verse 13. As it is written, Jacob
Not that one.
hath I
16.
loved. Romans chapter 9, verse 16. So then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of God that showeth mercy.
It is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but is of the Most High who showeth mercy. If you just happen to get a good wife or a good husband, that's the Lord being merciful, because there are so many people with terrible wives and terrible husbands. And they swore they picked good too. They took their time. They ain't give them none on the first date. All of the stuff Steve Harvey told them in his book to do, they did it. And still end up with a terrible husband. Because the Lord ain't showing them no mercy. You understand what I'm saying, your cow?
Sir, I understand. I was just trying to see if I could find a loophole.
I already know.
So meaning this. Again, I don't have a problem. I like the idea that our fathers did choose, because there's nothing like a father knowing, wanting best for his daughter, right?
Mm-hmm.
All I was saying was the loophole was he got somebody in mind. He don't have 3 men in mind. At least let me choose out of the three. He don't care without a one of them.
How do you know? But how are you going to know which one you want to marry? You going to court all three of them? It's going to be like the Bachelorette? You think it should be like the Bachelorette? Yeah, there is courting.
Oh, there you go. That's what I'm saying.
Here's the thing. How does a man know he wants to marry a woman?
How does a man know? Well, he goes to okay, then that means we just got to go by. He's just looking from the outside appearance.
Who?
Oh, let's look observing me first.
Who?
Because he does go to the father. I mean, he got to see me to say, now, she's bad. Let me go talk to the father.
But what if he see you and you bad, and then when he talk to you, he be like, nah, never mind. Yes, there's a process of courting. That usually takes place before a man would try to marry a woman. Courting is talking. I know in the world, courting is everything else. When you meet somebody now, they be like, this is my girlfriend. They probably done been together quite a few times. This is my fiance. Oh, they done slept together a long time ago. They probably got 2-3 kids and they still boyfriend and girlfriend. You understand what I'm saying? Everything you've learned in our civilization about marriage, about courting, about being with somebody is wrong. Everything. And unless people wrap their mind around it, they will never have successful marriages. Because you're trying to fit the way God ordained for it to happen into a box that's built around Roman culture, Greek culture, around other cultures that's not your culture. In Israelite culture, a woman is supposed to know her father. How in the hell a woman gonna know what a man's supposed to look like when ain't no men in the house? Niggas is gone. You know what? I'm tired of this. I'm out. This is why part of the main thing we teach in the school about a man sticking with a woman, even if she get on his last nerves, even if she's a monster, even if she don't do nothing he say, a man sticking with a woman and training that woman to be a good wife is important. Now, people don't never look at that side of it. When they complaining about everything else we teach about marriage, they never look at that part of it. They never look at the fact that a man disciplining somebody, like the Lord says, I discipline those who I love. I chasten those who I love. You correcting a woman, just like you correcting your child, is love. But outside of the truth, you're controlling, manipulative. Whatever the words they want to use, they'll use those words. Not that I love her and I don't want her to do something stupid. You understand? So yeah, if we were to talk about, how things supposed to be, I asked for 2 other scriptures. Let's go ahead and read some of those other scriptures, and we can continue to have this little, what I'm saying, if you still got some questions. What's the other scriptures? No, I got that one. It was one more. Go ahead. Go ahead. All right, never mind. Give me the Ecclesiasticus up.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 26, verse 1.
Ecclesiasticus 26 and 1, where we at? All right. You sure? You sure it ain't 23?
26.
26 and 23.
26, 23.
Come on. 26 and 23.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 26, verse 23. A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man.
A wicked woman is what?
Given as a portion to a wicked man.
So, let's break this down. A wicked woman is given in portion to a wicked man. So, if you sitting there complaining about how terrible your wife is, this woman is so wicked. What does that say about you? If you complaining how bad your husband is, and you chose him now, your daddy ain't choosing for you, what does that say about you? Now, maybe you've changed since y'all got together. Maybe you've tried, well, you got to give that person the same amount of time, the same amount of effort that the Lord gave you, the same amount of compassion, the same amount of, what did the Lord give us? He gave us a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, we did something wrong, but he gave us another chance. Go ahead. Mercy. Read Romans 9 again in 16, Racon.
Come on, sir. Romans chapter 9, verse 16. So then, it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of God that showeth mercy.
So if you're going through and you're dealing with something, no matter what, it ain't always what you did. Sometimes we could be, dealing with certain things from sins that our fathers did before us, things that we did before when we was here. We could be getting judged for that. Sometimes it's judgment that's happening for things that we did now or in this lifetime. But at the end of the day, it's the Lord chooses what he wants us to go through. And sometimes it's to make us better people. Sometimes it's to correct us from something we done did wrong. We don't know that. Here's the point. Always do the right thing regardless. If the Lord say stick with that nigga and he ain't no good and you know he ain't no, stick with him. If the Lord say stick with her and you know she's a full-out monster, stick with her. If she going to sleep with another dude and you love her to death and you want to give her another chance and the Lord said no, do what the Lord said. Do what he said. Every single time, because you're going to need some mercy from him. Everybody understand? All right, anybody else got any questions? Go ahead.
Okay, it's on the same thing that the young woman was talking about. A woman that's suitable for a man, like help me, is someone like a daughter, how she feel about her father, like, anything happened to her father, she like real worried and sick, and like anything that happened, she's like really willing to do whatever she got to do. And the same way she would feel about her husband is like the one that's suitable
Not necessarily. There are certain brothers who need certain things. There are other brothers who need other things. Some brothers may need a woman who is willing to work 2 and 3 jobs and, take care of finances. Some brothers need a woman who's going to stay at home and not work no job and cook and clean and take care of the household. Some brothers need a woman who is fruitful and can have a lot of kids. Some brothers need a woman who doesn't want kids so she can concentrate on him. Every situation is different. But when you talk about help meet, where does that word come from in the Bible? Somebody tell me. Go ahead. I can't hear you. Say it again.
So the first block here.
Nah, that was Shakar, right? That was you? All right, go ahead. So what you said now? The first time when you hear help me in the Bible, where is it coming from?
So, that was in Genesis when the Most High gave Adam Eve.
So if you want to look at how it was supposed to be, you look at what the Lord told Adam and Eve about marriage, because it should be based on that. It tells you what they did right and it tells you what they did wrong. So if we're going to talk about a help that's suitable for a man, this is how you know if it's suitable. If she follows this, somebody give me Genesis 3 and 16. I wanted to let Officer Shaward do this, but since here we are, this is where we going. Let's go ahead and go ahead. The water, Yakar, you always make the class interesting. You always get it cracking. Go ahead. Genesis 3 and 16. Yamayan got it.
Genesis chapter 3, verse 16. Unto the woman he said.
Who is the he? He is the Most High. And to the woman he said, go ahead.
I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children.
The woman is going to bring forth children, what she already been doing, but now it's going to be, the sorrow is going to be multiplied in that conception, right? This is a punishment because she didn't listen to her husband. She listened to the snake or the serpent or the person that told her to do opposite of what her husband told her, which is opposite of what the Lord told him. Read.
And thy desire shall be to thy husband.
And thy desire shall be to thy husband. Wait a minute. What I might need from my rib may not be the same thing that Yamayan needs from his rib. May not be the same thing Rakam needs from his rib. But her desire shall be to her husband, not to me. Some women, you see them, they more so trying to impress the generals and the captains and the people on Facebook. How about you impress your husband? Ain't that more important? Why would you act one way in public? Oh, no, I ain't gonna say nothing to him right now. Then y'all get behind closed doors and you let him have it. Your desire should be to your husband if you're a sister. That means that's how it makes you suitable. And if you don't understand what your desire being to your husband is, or the brother that asked the question, it ain't got nothing to do with all of that. Like, it's not a set pattern. What I need and what's suitable for me may not be suitable for the next brother. He might need a woman to look a certain way in order to be suitable for him. That's his desires. I might need a woman to act a certain way to be suitable for me. That's what I desire. Keep going.
And he shall rule over thee.
And he shall what?
Rule over thee.
You want to know what's meet? What's suitable for your husband? Ask him. You want to know whether a woman is suitable for you? Ask her questions. Hey, look, shawty, I'm trying to have like 15 kids. How many of them you want to have? I don't want to have none. Well, she ain't suitable. This is what courting is about. Hey, I don't like to go outside. I like to chill inside. What you like to do? Well, I like to go on beaches and do this and go to the club. We might not be compatible. Are you willing to change that? Okay. This is the art of courting that is a lost art. And this people already done sent pictures of everything they got to the woman before they ever even seen her. They just in her inbox just dropping pictures of the whole ride and everything else. It ain't no such thing as courting no more in these days of time. And that's why we don't have successful marriages. That's why you don't know whether a man found a woman ain't suitable for him after he got 3 kids from, I hate that bitch. You ain't hate her when you was giving her them 3 kids. You just now found out 5 years later that you don't like her, that she's not a good wife for you, because you didn't take the time to get to know her. You understand, Mario, right?
Oh, God.
Did I answer your question?
Yeah, and also, isn't it suitable, like, if she would never, like, want to divorce him? Because that's what the Most High wanted for Adam and Eve, never to divorce. So, that should be suitable for all men, right?
All right. Now we going back to what Yakau was talking about. It's not necessarily whether she wants to divorce him or not. It's whether she will do what the Lord said concerning him. It's not about whether I want to get rid of my rib or not. If I don't get rid of her because the Lord said it, it don't matter what I want. People who serve the Lord don't do what they want to do. You understand? Like, cats in the world, they women get sideways with them. They might, backhand a bit, get whatever. You know what I'm saying? Now they she finna call 911 on them, and they gotta go sit. I can't do that. I got classes to teach. I got, you know what I'm saying? It's no different than things in the street. I may be tight on my money. I can't go and sell poison to my brother in order to get it because the Lord said it's wrong. If we talk about people in the truth, a sister can want to leave her husband all she wants to, and she stick right there by him because the Lord have bound her to that man until he dies. A brother can want to leave his wife all he wants to, but he gonna stick with her and listen to her loud ass mouth and deal with her and argue with her until he can correct her and she comes back, until she or he dies, because that's what the Lord said to do. The love is we gonna stay together regardless. Regardless. I hate you. But I'm gonna stick with you though, because you my sister and I love you and the Lord told me to do it. You get it?
Oh, God.
Yeah, it ain't about whether she wanna leave. That don't make her suitable. If she still do what she's supposed to do, even if she can't stand you. You know what I'm saying?
Long as she following the laws.
Long as she following the laws. Long as she ain't being a whore and sleeping with another man. You know, women are always thinking about sleeping with another man, right? It ain't about what she thinking about. It's about what you always thinking about, sleeping with a man, another dude, old lady. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You watch TV, whatever Bad Sisters playing in the movie or whatever, you like, dang, that's somebody's woman now. And she ain't got on no clothes on the TV. As far as Christ concerned, you done slept with her already in your mind. You feel me? So it ain't really about whether she think about. She might think about pouring hot grits on your ass, and she don't do it. Then she's suitable. She's a good woman because she didn't do it. You got it? Right.
Love, yes, sir. So there's no such thing as soulmate in the Bible.
Soulmate, absolutely. Absolutely. The man you sleep with is your soulmate. The man you let enter your body is your soulmate. Absolutely.
That's right.
I know you, Kyle. I know. It's terrible. But it's right, but it's righteous at the same time. Give me Leviticus chapter 6.
So like you said, what was that?
I said it's terrible, but it's righteous at the same time.
It's terrible, but it's righteous. Just like it's not to be combative.
Not to be
It's also terrible.
Not to be combative. What do you mean by that?
I don't know. I'm about to make a comment or a question.
Which one is it? Is it a comment or a question?
Well, it's kind of both. I'm gonna make a statement. No, I'm gonna ask a question. So it's right. It's terrible. Well,
That was me commenting, just saying it's terrible when I said that. What I meant by that is people don't. Salakia, hold your peace 1 second. People don't agree with what the Lord said about things, especially about marriage. So when you start to have a conversation about it and to ask questions about it, I could give you two things: what the world thinks is right and what the Lord thinks is right. In here, this is a scripture-based class where you ask a question, I'll give you something based on what it says in the Bible about it. And that's why when you first ask your first initial question, I said, well, you got to think about it like this. In our society, a woman is to be cherished and loved and all of this other stuff, right? In Israelite society, a woman is to be protected and corrected and supported and all of some of those same things, but it's two totally different ways of handling it, right? If you were to tell somebody some of the things I said to you about how women were thought of in Israelite culture, it would totally go against everything in American fabric. It would go against everything they teach in the church when you have Mother's Day, and Valentine's Day, and Wife's Day, and Children's Day. Every day is all about the woman and the children. When a man put into his proper place will automatically support, protect, cherish his wife because she's worth being supported, protected, and all of that. So we don't only chastise men about being men, we chastise women about being women. Women just find it harder to accept than men. And the men that don't accept it don't come in the truth. The women that don't accept it, they come into the truth, but still want to hold on to the things that's in the world. A man, if he like, I ain't finna listen to these niggas. I'm gonna go get the hell on. I'm just finna go sit in the trap and do what I'm gonna do. Or I'm finna go get high and do what I'm gonna do. But it's sisters that actually come in the truth because out of the compassion and their love for the Lord and everything they've been taught and all of this, they want to try to change. But it's not an easy thing unless you're willing to give up what you love doing the most. And if you love being in charge and picking who you in the school, General Muhammad said it all the time. I tell the sister, this is the brother you need. And they'll be like, no, but I want to marry this brother. As a father figure in the school, he's telling them, this is a good brother right here. You should marry him. And they're like, no. And they want to stay marry him. They're now coming back to him a year later for counsel because she wants out of the marriage because the brother that she was so adamant about marrying, she don't even want him no more. My point is, and what you asked me, and what the question you asked, right? Can you re-ask that question? What you just asked me.
What I was about to say or what I said earlier?
No, what you just said. You said I'm gonna make it a question instead of a statement. And you asked me a question just now. You forgot it?
I don't understand.
All right. You don't want to say it?
Yeah. Maybe another time. I don't want to say it right now.
You don't want to say the question you just asked me?
Well, I asked you earlier about, of course, for daughter can choose,
Not that. I'm talking about the last question you just asked, just now. Anybody remember the last question that your cow just asked me? When she said, I ain't going to make a statement. I'm going to ask a question. Nobody remembers. You remember?
She said if there's any such thing as a soulmate.
Nah, it was after that. It was after that. I answered that question quickly. Yeah, of course it is.
comment saying how it's terrible, but it's righteous.
Yeah, my point in saying that is, like, right now, I may feel bad about not being able to go get high. Damn. After I done worked all damn day, I can't even enjoy, like I used to like to spend in the world, I used to smoke Black and Milds, right? I can't enjoy a damn cigarette, man. I done worked my ass off all day for Esau. Why can't I enjoy a cigarette? It's a terrible thing. But for me to not do it is righteous. Why can't I say nothing back to this nigga? He's calling me all out my name and this, that, or the other. Why can't I say anything? I want to say something back to my husband. It's a terrible thing that you can't. But it's righteous not to do it. You understand? I want to go, and I love being with my family. I wouldn't mind being with my family on the third Thursday or the fourth Thursday of this month. I like roast and turkey and all of that. It's a terrible thing. I ain't going to be able to be there. I ain't going to make it. Terrible. But it's righteous. That's what I meant, sis. You understand? Anybody else got any questions? Leviticus, go ahead, Al.
I always want to ask this question. I didn't just don't want to ask this question, but I always want to ask this question. Is it unlawful to sell poison to the other nations?
That's a good question. You know what? I had that same question. I'm gonna tell you why I had that same question, because I was thinking about, I got a brother that's my homeboy in the world, right? And they got corner store. He got 2 corner stores that they own, and inside those corner stores, they got everything that would be in a normal corner store. You know what I'm saying? You got your potato chips, your sodas, your beer, this, that, and the other. Then you got your cigarettes, your blunt wraps, and all of that, right? So I was thinking, like, if I open up a corner store, right, and I sold blunt wraps and what them little things that the smokers they have sitting on the counter, little keychains that you can smoke your dope out of and all of that stuff. If I had those little trinkets or whatever in my corner store, what would make me any different than the person that's outside the corner store around the corner selling crack? I'm talking to you. I'm talking to the brother that asked the question. Go. I want you to answer that.
That was your memorial. I think it would be. I don't know. You still be selling it.
Right. So let's say if I was a thief, right, and I never stole anything from any black man, Hispanic man, or but every time I go in Esau's store, I put something in my pocket. Or I check fraud. I wrote bad checks. Or I got over on people some kind of way.
Y'all could ask you that same question too about that too.
Yeah, I know. This is what I'm saying. Okay, I can only I only teach what I've been taught. And General Mahaiman was talking about this. He was saying how in the Philly school back in the days, they used to stop by the store every day and they would just grab a bunch of stuff, come in class, eat the stuff. They steal it out the little stores, this, that, and other. And General Yohana found out about it. Where y'all get all this candy and chips and all of this from? He's like, yeah, we stole it from the such and such store. You know, they heathens anyway. They owe us. They put us into slavery. They stole from us. They've been stealing from us. So we figured, you know, that's our stuff anyway. And he said General Yohana broke it down to him, right? You wanting to steal from them does not say anything about them, but it says a lot about you. Who are you? Are you a thief? Are you a drug dealer? Are you a whoremonger? So you don't steal anything from anybody. You don't rob nobody no more. You don't sell anybody poison. Right? Right over there in Israel right now, you had a white man who calling himself a Jew and claims he won't eat it, but they selling pork and everything over there in the Lord's land right now. That's them. You know why? Because they know not what they worship. We know what we worship. Them that serve the Lord must worship him in spirit and in truth. Nah, I can't sell no dope to the white man. You understand? No, man, you gotta change your entire way you think in order to be in the truth. You all right? So let's go back to where we started from there before we close out. I actually had some more scriptures I was about to go into. Give me Ephesians chapter 4 real quick. Ephesians chapter 4. I had a lot of scriptures I wanted to go into based on the topic we were just talking about with the sister and the marriage and all of that. Maybe we'll do that. It's actually a video up already on No Cowards Florida School, and it's like the role in marriage and all of that. So I just send y'all to that, and I'll hold off on what I was going to bring out on that. Let me see where I want you to go at on Ephesians chapter 4. Hold on one second. Let me get there. Because I think it's down. It's down like by verse number 22 or something like that. Let me see. Hold on. All right. Yeah. All right. Yeah, go ahead and let's start at verse 22. Go ahead, Racon.
Sir. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 22. That ye put off concerning the former conversation, the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust.
Stop right there. So this is what Paul is teaching concerning what Christ was bringing out. That you put off. Remember we was talking about, being born again and becoming as an old child. This means you putting off concerning the former conversation, the old man, the person you was, the person that loved to get over, the person who's, I see a lick. Oh, I see a lick. It's a sweet one. I can make $300. All I got to do is steal somebody's bank card and go do this. I can make $100. All I got to do is buy something that's worthless and sell it to somebody and tell them it's worth something. I can make this. All I got to do is get this woman that loves me to death to go out and sell herself to somebody else. There are a million things that you can do that's dead ass wrong. We don't do those things here in the Truth Hour. We don't. Because we put off that old man that tries to take advantage of every situation. And now we depend on the Most High. We depend on him. So every plug that's still in my phone, when I've been in the truth for 5 years ago, I don't know how they still in there, but they in there. And I scroll down and I say, you know what? I wonder if I tried to get this brother to watch a class. Would he watch a class? I don't call him and ask for anything. I don't do anything concerning that's gonna make it. You gotta get rid of that old man, and that's what you're here for. And that comes with getting checked. That comes with being in a position where you gotta just shut up and listen when you got so much to say. You know what I'm saying? Read verse 23. Hold on, wait a minute. Let's not go for that. Old man is corrupt and lusting after everything. The desire to have money, the love of money is the root of evil. Right? Keep going.
And be renewed in the spirit of your mind.
And be renewed in the spirit of your mind. You got to get it up here in your head. You know what? I don't need to pick the type of woman I like. Because the type of woman I like is not the type of woman that the Lord wants me to be with. You like Cardi with the braids. You like all the women you see on TV that ain't wearing nothing. You like all the men that do this, that, and the other that's going to hurt you, that's going to take advantage of you. You don't like the people that the Lord said you should like. That's why we was going to Leviticus. Somebody give me Leviticus chapter 21, verse 7 real quick. Here's why we don't get to make our own decisions. This is the reason why I go to men for counsel on what to make sure that the decisions I'm making are correct decisions. Go ahead, Art.
Leviticus chapter 21, verse 7. They shall not take a wife that is a whore or profane, neither shall they take a woman put away from her husband, for he is holy unto his God.
Wait a minute. This is talking about men of the Lord, right? Men of the Lord, men of God, men who choose to follow the Most High. They shall not take a wife that is a whore. Somebody give me the definition of whore. Now, somebody give me what they know a whore to be based on, our current definition. What's a whore? Whoever says Salakia first.
Woman that sells her body.
That's what we know. That's what we know in the world of a whore, a woman who sells her body. But is that the Lord's definition? Somebody got the definition in the either Bible dictionary, or you can do like what I told in the shop. Go back to the root word in the Hebrew. Or profane, neither shall they take a woman put away from her husband, for he is holy unto his God. Meaning the person he's saying shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do it because you separate it. You ain't supposed to be like everybody else. Go ahead.
In the Compact Bible, the Donovan Compact Bible Dictionary, page 605. For a woman who habitually commits adultery or fornication, especially for hire.
There it is. So it can be a woman who sells herself, but for the most part, the first and foremost thing is a woman who sleeps with multiple men. Especially for hire is what it says. Right? Commits adultery or fornication. So the fornication could be she sleeps with women. So, if you're going to be a man of the Lord, you should not take a wife of a whore, meaning a woman who sleeps with multiple men. Or profane, neither shall you take a woman that's put away from her husband. Now, if you go back into the New Testament, Paul says that a woman can be separated from her husband, but they are supposed to come back together. Right? All right, next. Let's go to Romans chapter 7. I ain't want to do this. Verse 1. Yamayan. Let me get Yamayan on it.
Romans chapter 7, verse 1. Know ye not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law.
I speak to what?
To them that know the law.
This is in Romans, right? Who is he talking to? Read it again. Them that know the law.
For I speak to them that know the law.
All right, go ahead.
How that the law hath dominion over a man as long as he liveth.
But the law was done away with, right? Keep going now.
Verse 2. For the woman which hath a husband is bound by the law to her husband, so long as he liveth.
Until she get mad.
So long as he liveth.
Until he get another wife.
So long as he liveth.
As long as he liveth. Go ahead.
But if the husband be dead, she is loosed from the law of her husband.
Okay. Keep going.
So then if, while her husband liveth, she be married to another man, she shall be called an adulteress. But if her husband be dead, she is free from that law, so that she is no adulteress, though she be married to another man.
It's a lot of laws in this Bible that tells you how to pick the right woman, right? With this one, it's saying if she left her man and married another one, she's an adulteress. Then the law says, don't marry a whore, which is a person who commits adultery. If we was to get into it, to be honest with you, majority of these sisters would be off limits. Majority of these brothers would not make good husbands. But thanks to Christ, you get another opportunity to try this thing again. And it starts now. It starts now. It don't start down the world. The Lord didn't die. Christ didn't die for the sins past, present, and future. That's a lie. Precept. Nobody knows the precept. We say it all the time in this class. I give you 5 seconds. All right. You know where's that? No? Somebody said Salakia? Give me Hebrews 10 and 26. Give me Hebrews 10 and 26. Go ahead.
Hebrews chapter 10, verse 26. For if we sin willfully, after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sins.
You can't put that on Christ if you sin it after you already know the truth. Now you facing judgment. The Lord gonna deal with you. You got a pardon already, and you went back and did the same thing over and over again. You think that's what Christ died for? Y'all crazy. Everybody understand that, right? The whole point is to learn the law. The brother asked that question, I believe it was yesterday in the class, like, where do you start? Where do you even start with this stuff? First, you need to learn the laws, because they told us these rules didn't apply to us. So now we figure out they do, and we don't know the rules. I don't know how I'm supposed to act, what I'm supposed to do, what I'm not supposed to do, what it's like to be a real man. Sister don't know how to really operate in the full feminism that the Lord gave her, which is her secret weapon. You understand? They used to use it to boss to get $50 to pay their light bill. They don't understand. They don't understand how valuable they are. A brother don't understand how valuable a woman is, and just throwing away something that could be an asset to him for the rest of his life for 10 minutes of fun. Salakia. This is why it all got to change. This is why we got this class right here, because the things that we need to know, we don't know. You ain't read that one where it said, for a time when we ought to be teachers. Did you go over that one in the shop? Yeah, let's get that one and go ahead.
That's what I was going to say. When you was asking if anybody knows he gave up 5 seconds, I ain't sure about it. He's going to be on point though.
What? Hebrews 10 and 26?
God.
Yeah, I know. I caught the vibe when you said Salakia, when you was like, like, yo, I had it. Well, you know what I'm saying? It's all good. You had it. At least you knew it. Somebody got the precept? Go ahead.
Hebrews chapter 5, verse 12. For when for the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of God, and are become such as have need of milk, and not of strong meat.
So we supposed to be at a time now where you look at like every high holy and feast day, we go through where the Lord said, keep these laws, do this, keep these high holy days, do this, you know what I'm saying? And this should be taught to your children and your children's children for all generations, right? It's like we already know. If you talk to a child and he know what Christmas is, he know what his birthday is, He don't know what the Passover is. So we ain't in a position, we ain't even been teaching our children the oracles of God, the things that he said to do, and expect them to grow up and be productive, expect them to grow up and not kill each other over some foolishness. Ain't we asking too much of them when we ain't never taught them nothing? Expect a girl to grow up and to be able to pick a husband when she ain't never seen a righteous man in her life? Don't you think we asking too much? And the women's supposed to be teaching the children. And the men supposed to be teaching other men and teaching the women. But a time where we supposed to be teachers, we have need that somebody teach us again. And ain't nobody stern enough, ain't nobody got the spirit of the Most High or the spirit of Christ in them enough to not say, well, even if they kill me, I'm going to make sure my people know the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Even if they kill me, we worried about somebody gonna hate us? Somebody ain't gonna like us? They killed Christ because of what he was teaching. And he wasn't teaching nothing but what's in the Bible. Think about that. Time when we ought to be teachers, we have need that one teach us again. And what they should be teaching us is the first principles of the oracles of God. How to live, how to get along with each other, how to forgive your brother. What does turning the other cheek mean? Does that mean you let a cracker slap you? You let an oppressor slap you and then you just turn the other cheek? Is that what that means? La'ah. God forbid. Hell no, that's not what that means. You come in here, you ask questions. We'll tell you what it means. And if you don't believe us, then Google it. See what Google tells you. Google gonna tell you what you want to hear. Pastor gonna tell you what you want to hear. Steve Harvey, call in and ask ye. Ask ye what you should do with your relationship then. Since you don't like what the Bible said about it. She's an expert. Y'all know you shouldn't do that, right? It's lucky. My point is this. You either gonna do what the Lord said or you're gonna do what you want to do. That's what it all boiled down to. You either gonna do what the Lord said or do what you want to do. Can't nobody make you do it. Once you done learned the truth and you still want to sin and you still want to do it your way, well, there is no more sacrifice. Christ being killed and dying is not going to save you no more because you know better. Now you're going to die. You're going to be killed. You're going to face judgment. You're going to be in hell. Everybody understand that, right?
I don't want to call.
Any other questions? Quash time now. Where would Quash at? Quash, where you at? No, okay. Any other questions? It's about that time.
I have a quick question.
Go ahead, sis.
When we have our kingdom, after when Yahushua comes back,
Mm-hmm.
and I know the scripture says that every nation is going to be put on their own land. Are they going to keep their language, or everyone's going to speak Hebrew?
It don't say every nation gonna be put on their own land. It say that?
Well, from what I heard multiple times, I'm not sure, but I do know. I forgot what chapter they said it from, but they were saying how when Yahweh comes to rule, it said he was gonna take.
Oh, that's.
It just said it was gonna.
It's gonna take them, Salakia. That's I believe it's Isaiah 14 where it says they're gonna take them to their place. But here's what you have to understand about the kingdom. Okay, when Yahushua is coming back to rule over the entire planet, not just America, not just Africa, not just Israel, and everybody else will have to either fall in line, meaning they're going to do what we're doing, or they're going to die. And the reason why is because let's just say if we had all these Edomites in their own land. And Yahushua was just over here ruling in Israel and Israel only. And we got our land back and we went back over there. Don't you think it'll only be a matter of time before the Edomites try to come up with a plan to overthrow and take over Israel again? It has to be a dictatorship. It has to be, we completely destroy the other nations as we know them today and turn them and put them back into their place and rule over our oppressors. This is the 144,000. That's the government. Kazakh might get Florida. That's all I got. Or I might just get Jacksonville. It's 144,000, right? I might just get Jacksonville. That's all the land I got to rule. Well, if you are a Elamite or a Hamite, and you over here, and I want us to speak English, that's what the hell we speaking, right? If Nashak down there, he want everybody to speak Spanish. Shakar, he want everybody to speak Spanish, and he's over his. That's what they speaking. Whoever rules is in charge of what language they speak, and the rules are all the same rules because they the law, statutes, and commandments that's been the same ever since Adam and Noah. You got it? Yeah, it's whatever Christ say. We don't know what we're going to be, but we're going to be like him. You got that? You heard that scripture before, right?
Can you refresh my mind just in case?
Somebody get me that.
I'm not sure about
we don't
that.
know what we will be like him. In other words, how Paul is breaking it down is he don't even know what type of body we're going to have, much less how it's going to be. All he knows is that we're going to follow Christ and his rule and we'll be like him. In other words, people have all these conversations. I have conversations with Old Testament Israelites. And they say David is coming back because that's what the scripture says. They gonna serve David, their king. When we say it's talking about Yahushua, it's talking about somebody that came out of David's lineage, right? You can come back on the earth as a baby and it'd be the same person, but you're a different person or the same spirit. And we call that reincarnation, for lack of a better way to explain it, right? When Christ come back, he's not coming back as a baby. So if his body physically died and Christ is a spirit and he's not coming back as a baby, what kind of body will he have? Paul is saying that same type of body he has is a glorified body and the type of body we're going to get, because this type of flesh and this type of blood cannot enter in the kingdom. Else we would just be in the kingdom doing the same thing we doing here. Looking at niggas old lady, wanting to, hey, let me get a pope. They ain't finna be in the kingdom, let me get a pope. You know what I'm saying? We be doing the same thing we doing here. Lusting, our lust and our desires and all of that stuff will still control us, because this body, that's what happens. All that's in the world is the lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, and the pride of life. You got the scripture out? Somebody got the scripture out? Ask. Go ahead. Start from somewhere down. I only got like two or 3 minutes, but I want to make sure she get a little bit of context and the part where it says we don't know what we'll be. Tell us where you at.
First John chapter 3 and verse 1. Behold, what manner of love the Father hath bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of God. Therefore the world knoweth us not, because it knew him not. Verse 2. Beloved, now are we the sons of God, and it does not yet appear.
Golly, it be going down at Shakar's crib. Somebody pick it up for the brother. Somebody pick it up for the brother, quickly. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Verse 2. Beloved, now are we the sons of God, and it doth not yet appear what we shall be, but we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him.
When he shall appear, we shall be like him. We don't know what we're going to be, but we are the sons of God. Only the people that's going to be in the kingdom, that's going to have any type of say-so or whatever, is going to be the sons of God, the people who decided to follow Christ anyway. So we'll get what they call a glorified body, and we don't know what it's going to be like, but we know we're going to be the sons of God. So when you ask in the kingdom what we're going to speak, what language, if Christ say we all speak in Hebrew, we all speak in Hebrew. If Christ say we all speak in Spanish, we all speak in Spanish. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure that it talks about that, but it talks about him pulling people out of every nation and every tongue and every language in order to save them in Revelations, because we scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. So, you know what I'm saying? Right now, I don't speak none of them languages. I done been in a Hebrew class a couple times, but I can't speak it fluently. I can read it. I don't know what I'm reading until I go back and look up the word and see what it means. So, you know what I'm saying? It ain't going to be like abracadabra. Now everybody knows Hebrew. It don't work like that. So, hopefully that answered your question. Did I? All right, Most High in Christ. With that, I turn the class over to precinct officer in the shop.